right, if you're into following the trash fire that has unfortunately become the RWBY community on social media, you're going to really enjoy this video. And before we begin, let me give a shout out to Kratos Spartan 101, our new patron. Thank you, buddy. Hopefully you're watching this video. Much appreciated. And also a shout out to everybody who tipped me off about this story. I don't want to name them because if I miss someone, I will feel bad, and there was a good amount. So thank you all very much. And with that said, let's get started. Okay, so we're over on Nyannet. I have a full write-up for today's story. I'll link it in the description and a pinned comment if you want to take a look at the write-up itself. There's a lot of info there. But to kind of give you a TLDR before we get into the main content here, we recap some of the shenanigans that's gone on in the RWBY community from these Bumblebee fanatics. For example, the time that Rooster Teeth made a shirt that had Blake and Adam on it, and the caption, "Lovers Quarrel." And there was immense backlash from these fanatics on Twitter, to the point where RT, if I recall, they actually removed the shirt from their merch store within a number of hours. I find that very funny because it's just funny, but also very funny because RT has had so much backlash for other things that are actually important. If you don't like the shirt, you can choose not to buy it. RT has had backlash for things that are actually important, like their price hike. Their price is going up tremendously. And as far as I've seen, they never responded to a number of these issues. Radio silence. But if it's, the Bumblebee fanatics, oh my gosh, we got to change that immediately. We got to change that. It's ridiculous. There was also the time that there was an Adam cosplayer at a convention, and these fanatics attacked the guy because he was cosplaying Adam. It's crazy. So some of this is here. The videos are here if you want to take a look at them. Again, linked in the description and the pinned comment of this video. But for now, here is what you're tuning in for. Here is the fan art. Take a look at this. This tweet reads, "Imagine if that was the end of RWBY Volume 7. The Bumble Bitches finally getting what they deserve instead of getting away with all of their BS. Ah well, one can dream. This commission was done for my birthday by the lovely Manu-chan. Heart, #RWBY. The main point I want to make is what is written right here. Now, what would a reasonable person do when they scroll through their timeline and pass over art that they don't like? Probably just move on. What do fanatics do? Become outraged, screech a whole lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if this art was commissioned partially as bait. Yes, it was, a birthday gift and all that, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was also a little bit of an idea to bait with it. I mean, it was posted online too, so it seems possible. And if this was bait, it certainly worked very well. These fanatics have a recurring problem. They let any little thing that they don't like set them off so much. They go 0 to 100, and then they obsess over it for hours to maybe all day to maybe the next week or so. It's what they do. I've seen it happen over and over and over again, man. It's crazy. So me making this video is actually trying to give them advice. If you see something online, fanatics, if you see something online that you don't like, maybe just move on and use your time more productively. You only have so much time in a day, and you only have so much time on Earth. Do you really want to spend it being mad about fan art? Is that really what you want to use your time for? I mean, listen, I'm sitting here trying to give you advice, but at the end of the day, it's not my loss. I would also just like to point out a few things. Even if this art upsets you, it's still someone commissioning, paying for fan art to be done that involves RWBY. That's not really a bad thing for RWBY, the show. Also, the art isn't really gory, to be honest. Blake is parrying the spear, so Blake's not really getting hit. She's a little beaten up, but it's nothing we haven't seen her deal with worse in the show itself. And Yang is losing the mechanical arm, so it's not even really gory. It's like the artist went out of their way to not make it too gory almost. But I have a feeling a lot of these people just saw this, and again, they go 0 to 100. They freak out. In their mind, maybe Blake actually got impaled here. And I don't know, man. Maybe they're not looking at the same picture. Maybe they are. But it's hard to find logic with people who don't use logic a lot of the time. The last thing I'll say is that I'm also kind of interested in these OCs. Are these actually OCs that someone made? Or is this just supposed to be White Fang characters that are not really OCs? You know what I mean? Are they in-depth OCs or just supposed to be some characters in the White Fang or something? I don't know. But I like looking at that sort of stuff. Anyways, let's get to the backlash. So this next part, I'm going to have to be careful what I say. I don't want this getting restricted. I want this video to get good views. Honestly, who doesn't want that, right? So I'm going to use my overlay, and I'm going to paraphrase some of the stuff that gets a little bit more extreme. If you want to see it without the redactions, check out Nyannet. Again, link in the description and or pinned comment. And with that said, let's continue. Imagine being such a sad person that you commissioned art of 2 characters getting defeated just because you don't like their ship. Think whatever you want on Bumblebee, but WTF is this? Not the image, just that toxic mindset. Delete this. This one's really out there. So this person says, the funniest part about this to me is that it makes no sense in canon. Wait, what does it being canon or not canon have to do about fan art? Are you now, I mean, do you really want to use that argument? Are you now going to throw shade at every piece of fan art that's not canon? Are you going to throw shade then at like 99% of Mojo Jojo's fan art? If you don't know Mojo Jojo, I think it's just Mojo Jo. He's like one of the best RWBY fan artists out there. That's why I'm using him as an example. So good that, if I recall, RT even eventually hired the guy to work for him, excuse me. So a lot of the art that Mojo does is stuff that's not canon. It's like the characters in holiday outfits and other like scenes that never happened. And Mojo aside, most of the fan art out there is probably stuff that's not really canon. So that's such a, I'm going to be just honest, it's such a dumb argument. Oh my gosh, that argument's so bad. You're throwing shade at so many people with that argument. It's just absurd, to be honest. It's so funny to me, man. This next person is just so mad that they have to comment a whole bunch all over the place. So let's kind of skip through that and take a look. And people try telling me Adam fans aren't the most pathetic part of the RWBY fandom. And then they apparently stalk some person's post history to try and make a point here, saying, hey, SD Olimar, is this the friend that you were muling about? Oh, she feels alienated for liking Adam and Taradana, uwu. You were muling about Takal a while back? Wait, did they just repeat them? They just repeated themselves too. Oh my gosh, they're so mad. They can't even type properly. Seems like you're both alienated because you're pathetic, edgy lunatics. Dude, the only person who sounds like a pathetic lunatic right now is, well, you know, I don't think I need to point over here. And then they pull up some other art or something, call them a lunatic. What is this, man? Calls them a lunatic again and says that they need a counselor, basically. What the heck, dude? What? And then they say, wait, you're an adult making stuff like this? Just pathetic. Oh my gosh. What is this nonsense? Here's some more outrage. About it being fictional, someone says, who honestly cares what they do or don't within RWBY? It literally doesn't affect anything in the real world one way or the other. Please get some therapy. It's clear you need it. So this point is very weird. And again, I have to fall back to what I said earlier. It's difficult to look at something logically when there's no logic in that thing, just like this. So this person is trying to argue that the person who commissioned this art shouldn't be upset about these characters because it's fictional, as they're being upset about said fictional characters in said fan art. So the double standards here, man, it's just absurd. I'm gonna scroll through this now. I'm gonna continue on. Let's just move on. Dude, calm down. Go outside. Why the unnecessary and ridiculous hatred for these 2 fictional characters? Also, how do they deserve being viciously attacked again? I feel like we're watching 2 different shows. LMAO. Effing yikes. Relax. Art is cool, but it's context. I think you need therapy. That's like the second person now to suggest therapy over just commissioning some art that was probably in part just to bait people like this. Just saying. Cool AU, but imagine having a hateful you-know-what for fictional characters. You have problems. Well, good to know there's psychos in the fandom. What? Next time you wonder why people are aggressive towards one another, all I have to say to some people linked in this post is, look and read the text of this post. Read it. Look at it hard. And effing dare telling us. Another person who's so mad they can't type properly. And this is coming from a guy who sucks at typing. Like, I'm very bad at grammar. I am not good at typing. But my gosh, like, it's so funny to me, man. I'm having a lot of laughs this video. I apologize if I'm laughing too much, if I'm annoying you. I do apologize. I should just deliver the content. But hopefully you're having a laugh with me. I mean, you probably are. Unless you're a fanatic, which I know there's always like 0.001% of the views are always the Fanatics. But it's great. They give me good watch time because they cry about stuff in my videos that oftentimes I say at like the very end. So I know these Fanatics, man, they watch the whole thing. It's crazy. Very dedicated viewers. Thank you, Fanatics. Appreciate it. Where do we leave off? Read it, look at it, and effing dare telling us telling us with a straight face we're the most toxic. Oh, geez, the outrage and the profanity is really ramping up in this latter part. I'm going to have to strengthen our 0-2. 0-2, protect us, please, from these weirdos. They write, another pointless RWBY thread. Why am I not surprised? At least be more positive if you want to type something rather than coming at fans and complaining about everything. Grow up. Okay, for the record, this person didn't really come at anybody. He or she just posted their fan art, and that's really it. It was fan art they commissioned for their birthday. You're coming at them? Man, these arguments are so weird. Dude, what the F? They're cartoon characters. Take a walk and clear your head. Oh, are they cartoon characters? I know a lot of RWBY fanatics that would say it's anime. Uh-oh. Hopefully they don't all turn on you next, eating their own and all that. Getting away with their BS, kind of mocking the op, writing that in the tweet. Not you being mad over the show. Get some help and stop writing a fictional character. Bumblebee is going to be canon and Adam's RIP. Again, bringing up Adam despite the fact that the tweet, the op, didn't even mention Adam. This person says, it's disrespectful and idiotic. I get that it's just art, but it's still presented in a disrespectful way, especially to the writers. This just looks bad for you. I mean, listen, if you want to criticize the post and the art, you can argue the disrespectful thing a little bit because they said Bumble, you know what, and all that. Like, I don't agree with that, but at least that would be a better argument than what this person's writing. This person is just saying that the art itself is disrespectful, which I don't understand. Again, the art's really not even that graphic, and it's just Blake and Yang fighting some White Fang people and losing. So, I mean, Blake and Yang have lost fights before. Yang especially has lost many, many fights. For example, when the best girl in RWBY, Neapolitan, completely destroyed Yang, and she was doing it so easily. She barely had to put any effort into it. She absolutely wrecked Yang. How embarrassing was that for Yang? Oh my gosh, Neo destroyed Yang. Neo absolutely destroyed Yang so easily. Absolutely destroyed. Very embarrassing for Yang. Okay. So the last two posts there, one of them specifically is so bad. I can't repeat that stuff, so I'm not even going to read it. I don't want to risk it. I think we'll be okay right now. I don't want to push our luck. And then in the article, I do end it with some bonus content. I show you another extreme example of these fanatics, of these wasps. Maybe the most prolific example. This person, anytime I make a video on RWBY or RT, for the most part, they rant on Twitter. Now, that's not really rare for me. These fanatics, there's a number of them that do this. Anytime I make a video on RWBY or RT, they rant about me on Twitter. The difference with this one is that they get so upset that it looks like they're going to blow a blood vessel every time they post. And they have like 10 to 15 posts all linked together. Anytime I make a video on RWBY or RT, even when I was putting RT on blast, because the VP of product engineering, Mike Quinn, had allegedly been arrested for, I've got to phrase this very uniquely. So, you know, UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship, you know what they do to each other in the ring? Yeah, this guy was allegedly doing that to his wife, right? You get the idea. So when I said that was bad, this person got so mad that they still made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a 7 tweet, I don't even know how to phrase it, a 7 tweet thread on Twitter, whatever, you get the idea. Just cussing me out, saying all kinds of shenanigans, being so mad. It's in the write-up if you want to see it. But that's where RWBY's at now. And unfortunately, as we saw with the Bumblebee shirt thing, RT seems to pander these people. So, I mean, Rooster Teeth, have fun with your new fans. Have fun with them. Because the rest of us are just going to be laughing at it and using it for our entertainment. Have fun relying on these people to support your show. Judging by the stuff that they post, I can't imagine that they have much means to support you guys. But hey, HBO's looking better than ever, right? Right? I'm sure HBO and Warner's really going to help you guys out. Yeah, we'll see. And now, a very heartfelt thank you to the kind and awesome people who promoted yesterday's video on This America. Shout out to Isra Blackwolf, Striker Red, Bruno, Mr. Anime 343, Nanad Milankovic, Game Wizard 02, Ankh Uchiha, Anime Night 1992, Cornbread Man, The Lancaster Kid, Miguel V. Garcia, Mashed Up Potatoes, Joshua B. And that is them all. Thank you very much. If you posted elsewhere, thank you as well. My system only tells me when it's over on Twitter. But thank you for your support. That is all I have in this one, and I'll catch you next time.